If you are in your final weeks of pregnancy, then I just want you to know that I fully see you and I'm right there with you. I'm currently 37 weeks pregnant and I'll actually be 38 weeks in just 2 days, which is absolutely wild. I cannot believe that I am at the end of this pregnancy and also that I will be in the labor and birth portal soon. I feel like it's like this huge mountain sitting in front of me and I can't even see over the other side of it. So today I just wanted to sit down and have an honest conversation about where I am at, what I am moving through at the end of this pregnancy, in hopes that you're able to relate and laugh and just be like, me too. So let's get back to that mountain. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I just feel like there's just this massive mountain. I'm sure that people that are about to run marathons feel this too, that I need to get up and over, and I can't see anything at the top of the mountain right now, right? Because like I'm climbing up it. Like I gotta get through the end of the pregnancy. I need to get through the labor, get through the birth, and then once I'm there, like once baby is born, then I can see everything from the top of the mountain, essentially, which is the postpartum. And so I was talking to my therapist the other day because I was like, it's so funny. Like I remember having the same exact feeling in my first pregnancy where I just kind of couldn't see beyond the labor and the birth because it was this huge event that I had never been a part of. And I'm still feeling it in my second, even though I know more what to expect, how my body works and all the things. There's also just so much mystery involved in bringing a new life into the world. And so I've been sitting with that a little bit because I also realize that there is this whole postpartum period and your life is just completely turned upside down and changes, and it's the most blissful experience, but it's also so much change and just, yeah, I guess just like that's like the biggest thing. It's just like this big life change. Everything kind of shifts and changes and morphs in the most beautiful way, but it also is really hard. And so I just want to be honest with myself as well right now, just about like giving myself grace and understanding that it's hard. It is hard, just like pregnancy is hard, right? And so, yeah, I guess when I think about just labor, birth, and postpartum, and I'm actually able to be really present with it, I am like, wow, everything changes, but also nothing changes at all. So I'm contradicting myself here. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of things in this video that feel super contradicting because they are. And I also just feel like that is what labor, birth, and pregnancy are. And all of a sudden you just have this baby. And it's like you just get to keep doing life, and now you have this new life that you get to take care of. And it's just so incredible. Like humans are amazing. I'm just so in awe of the human race and just how there's literally a baby inside of me right now that I'm gonna have on the outside of me in like 4 weeks. And I feel like that's also something that's just so special, is that really trying to be present like these next 1 to 2 weeks, not sure when I will go into labor, but that there's just so much protection right now with the baby inside of me, and I don't have any worries. Like I'm just like, oh, like baby is in here. And that's me personally. Like I know everyone's pregnancies are different and everyone feels different. Some people are probably like, I just want the baby outside of me right now. But I just love the feeling of like baby being inside of me, like nurtured, curled up, just like, yeah, it's just so, so sweet. And then I get to have the baby on the outside and everything changes, but also like life just continues to keep going. And this is what I was trying to get to when I was talking about the mountain, is it feels like you climb this mountain and then it's like, you know, you finish the labor and the birth, you have the baby, and it feels like everything, like your life is completely different, and it is, but you're still in the same house. You're still doing similar routines, but different. And like at the beginning, yeah, you don't have your exact life back, but it shifts and morphs in the most beautiful way, and it expands. And that's something else that I've also been sitting with, is just being as present as I can with my daughter, because this is my second baby. And this might be your first baby, your third baby, your fourth baby. And if it's your first, there's a lot of overwhelm with not knowing what to expect, not knowing what your body's going to do. This big shift from being just with your partner to now we have a plus one. And then if this is your second baby or third baby or fourth baby, it's like, this is another big shift for my daughter or my son who is now having a sibling, and that dynamic changes, and your dynamic changes with your firstborn and your secondborn, depending on like what number child this is. And then your dynamic with your partner changes, whether it's your first, your second, your third, or your fourth. And so it's funny because I'm bringing all of this stuff is just kind of flying out of me right now. I hope that you are able to follow, but there's a part of me that's like, I probably should redo this video because I don't even know if anything that I said makes sense, but there's something in me that's just like, no, this is like your raw, natural, authentic truth flowing out of you at 30, pretty much 8 weeks pregnant. And so let's just keep going, because that's what you have to do in labor and birth and pregnancy, right? Like, you just got to keep going. And so if I just take a deep breath right now, and if I welcome you, invite you to take a deep breath with me to just kind of like slow down and see like what really comes through to keep sharing. That felt really good. So the main thing that kind of came through to me was how I just exported so much and had so much moving through me. I feel at the end of pregnancy, for me personally, there's a lot of that going on, because there's so much to take care of, from the family that you already have, to your body physically and mentally, to preparing for having a newborn, whether you're breastfeeding or you're bottle feeding or you're pumping or formula, to understanding this new baby, understanding this, there's going to be this big change in dynamic in your family, prepping your house, buying the newborn things, buying the postpartum things for mom, going to your appointments. Like, there is so much that you have to do to prepare. And you might be working right now. You have other kids to take care of. And it's a lot. It is a lot. And so I am just going to say right now that I am so proud of you, wherever you are in the world and whatever part of your pregnancy that you were at. But if you were in these final weeks when it just feels like so much, I see you and I'm right there with you. There's so many of us in the world right now that are right there next to you, or that are in the same spot as you, maybe right before you, maybe right after you. And I feel like cultivating the energy of just being really present and patient and slowing our nervous systems down is so important. And yeah, that's the message that I got when I took those deep breaths, is because like, I have so much to say about this. Obviously it was flowing out of me at the beginning. You were here. And just by taking that deep breath, you can probably see the shift in my energy and see like, so I hope that you're able to feel that too when you took a breath with me. Preparing the house has been a lot for me. I have OCD, so I feel like everything needs to be perfect before the baby arrives. And I'm also trying to remind myself that no matter what, it will be okay. If baby comes earlier than I expect and the house isn't perfect, I have a strong community around me, and also just myself and my partner. Like, we will get everything done that we need to get done, even if baby was to show up tomorrow. And so I'm really trying to give myself grace in that and not force myself to do all of the things every single day, so that I can also just be present with myself and with the baby and with my family and with my daughter, because there's going to be a big shift in dynamic for her to start getting used to like a baby in the house and what it means to be a big sister. I'm so excited for her. I'm so excited for the baby to have a sibling, but that will definitely be a shift. She's been the only one to get all of our attention. So that also is something that I think about. Like, I worry about her. I worry about the newborn. The newborn never had the one-on-one time that she got. And so there's all of these like contradicting things that move through your head as a mother. And they're all so maternal and natural and safe and healthy. Like when you have these thoughts, even like protective thoughts or intrusive thoughts, if you start getting them in your postpartum, just know that that is like a maternal protective instinct that your body is putting off. And always seek help, always ask for help from people, make sure they know what you are moving through mentally. That's so, so important in the postpartum period. And even in pregnancy, like any time in your life, even if you're not pregnant, we all know that like that is so, so important. Always seek help. But yeah, I've also, like, I had my first baby in May, and that was amazing because it was springtime, so there wasn't a lot of like sicknesses going around or anything. And this baby is being born at the end of January in the winter, and it's very cold here, and there's lots of sicknesses going around. I just went to the pediatrician with my daughter the other day, and she told me it's like the worst flu season and all of this stuff. And that's something that's hard for me because I know we have strong immune systems and we're taking our vitamins and we're eating really healthy, but at the same time, sickness is sickness. And when you become a mom or a dad, you learn that you have to be the protector of your kids, and it can put you in really awkward and uncomfortable situations, from telling people like, oh, no, please don't kiss my baby, to, is there anyone sick in your house? Or when they arrive, please wash your hands. And so I realized in my first pregnancy, and I remember my sister telling me this, like, this is something that you will deal with your entire life. Like, you, especially when your children can't speak yet, you are their protector. Like, you are the person that can advocate for them. But it is hard. It's really difficult. Like, maybe choosing not to see people at the end of pregnancy, or what I usually do is I check in. Has anyone that you're living with, or like anyone that you've been with, been sick recently? Because I'm just trying to be really protective of our space for myself, for my daughter, and for the newborn and my partner. So that is something that helps me. But I just guess I brought that up because it has been something that's been on my mind, because I'm in these final weeks and I know there's just so much sickness going around. And in terms of the labor and the birth, like, I feel really good mentally and physically. I'm really excited. I feel like I'm going to look at myself in the mirror. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, or if this has happened to anybody. I feel like I'm going to look at myself in the mirror when it's beginning and I'm feeling the contractions, or if my water breaks. I keep visualizing it as when my water breaks, and I feel like I'm just going to be like, oh no, it's happening again. Like, here we go. Which is just like, I just like feel it coming. Like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I remember being in my last labor, and at one point, like, we want multiple kids. I remember being like, I'm never doing this again at my sister. And I remember probably saying that in my postpartum, and someone said to me, you know, like, as time goes on, you're just gonna forget. And now here I am, and I'm like, I don't forget those words. Like, I know we're going like deep into it, but I'm also just so excited. Like, I just feel, now that I know my body and like exactly what happens through labor and birth, and I feel so connected to this baby intuitively and just in such a safe place, that I just want to like go deeper into the labor and the birth. I don't even know if that makes sense, like, listening to this, but like, I just want to like be so deep in that realm, like ethereal but conscious is what I'm calling in. Like, I just want to be, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like not even a word. And I remember there was a moment when I was in the hospital having my daughter, and I was like fully in like the birth realm. And I remember just being like this whole moment, or like, I don't even know how long it was, of like, my daughter is literally shifting from one realm to the next. Like, I had a dream that my daughter was being held by her grandpa, my fiance's dad, who passed away. And so I knew throughout my whole pregnancy with her that he was holding her and he was protecting her. And like, that was the angel that was like really had her. And so like, I could literally feel the shift from him with her in heaven or wherever they are. And like, truly her like coming into my hands and like coming to the earth. And it was so profound that I remember, after having the baby, saying to Daniel, the wildest, craziest thing just happened and I don't even remember what it was. Like, I really have to sit with myself, and I had to like sit in meditation and like deep thought for the like remembrance to come back. And so I'm really excited to be really present in that space, especially because I've already like been in pregnancy and labor before. And so I feel like that stuff I'm going to remember. I also remember when I was crowning with my first baby. I didn't tear, by the way. I had an all natural unmedicated birth. I didn't tear, and I had done a lot of prenatal stretching. So start doing that right now if you haven't. My physical therapist told me the other day that she can fully notice a difference that I have been doing the stretching every day, which was really nice to hear because it is so painful. And I was like, I don't even know every day. I'm like, I don't even know if this is doing anything. But to hear that from a physical therapist or a pelvic floor therapist, I was like, okay, like this is really good to know that it's like actually showing results. And so I remember with my daughter crowning and just thinking about all of the feminine, like all of the women who birthed before me. And it just felt so profound and so beautiful. I had read that in a book, so it wasn't something that like I had come up with on my own, but it really gives you the strength to be like, I can do this. Because in that moment, I remember she had only like, you know, when you have a contraction, baby comes out a little bit and then baby comes back in, and then you have another one that kind of like stretches, especially when you're unmedicated, because you can really like intuitively listen to your body. And I just remember like the first little moment, I was like, there is no way that this baby is going to come out of me. But surely enough, she did, which is like the craziest thing too. It's like labor and birth. Yes, there are like days and days that some people, it like takes a really long time to get baby earthside, but like it's not going to be longer than like this specific amount of time, right? Like, I don't know like what the longest birth ever has been, but it's like, you're going to have a baby tomorrow, most likely, maybe the day after, but it's going to happen and the time's going to move. And like right now, as I'm speaking, there are so many people, so many women in the world that are laboring and birthing right now. It's just so beautiful. And it makes me just like so proud and grateful to be a woman and to be able to carry life, even though we're dealing with all of the body changes and all of the things, which is an entire nother topic. Obviously, I didn't really segment this video out, but that's okay. Hopefully you're bearing with me. But yeah, just being with our bodies and trusting them and just being so proud of them because they're growing life, they're giving life, and they're going through so many shifts and changes. Like right now, I do the dishes and I'm out of breath after doing 2 dishes. Like I'm like, what's on my hands and knees? But I'm definitely like on the counter. Like this is crazy how much we shift. And I'm going through so many other things too, like really bad pelvic symphysis pain. I get some pain in my butt, some pain in my butt and in my tailbone. And then at night, I'm like waking up constantly to shift, waking up constantly to go pee. Like and every single time I go to the bathroom, like it's like a full, like I'm fully using like emptying my bladder. Sorry, I cannot get that out. And I have vulvar varicosities, which a lot of people don't talk about often because I don't know if it's genetic, but it's not every woman gets them, but it's just you have so much blood in your body. And I didn't have them in my first pregnancy, but I do in my second. And just like the veins in your vulvar region get like really big, which has honestly been the hardest pregnancy symptom that I have ever had because it's just really seeing my body differently. But I feel like the more that we can be open and honest and share about these things, the more normal we can all feel about them, because I was so embarrassed and like I still am like, ooh, but it's like so many women are dealing with the same thing and we shouldn't feel that way because we are giving life and we are bringing life to the world. And with that, like speaking of the body, something that's been really pivotal for me over the past few weeks is, I would actually say over the past week, is being really intuitive and really listening to what my body needs. So for example, when I go to the gym, I'm somebody who's like, I need to get the workout in. I need to do like as many squats as I said I was going to do. Like I need to like really like follow the list. And the past like 3 days at the gym, I've got there, and one of the days I was super nauseous, and I was just like, I have no desire to do everything that I said I was going to do. I'm actually gonna just lay down on this mat and like breathe and envision my dream birth, be with the baby, like do some meditation. And it felt so good to just listen to myself. And then it happened another day. It wasn't nausea, but I just got there and I was just like, I don't feel like walking on the treadmill. That's what it was. I went on the treadmill and I walked 0.20. Usually I try to get to 1 mile, max 2 miles is kind of like, I just can't concentrate on a treadmill. And I got to 0.20 and I just felt embarrassed. I'm like, there's so many people around me. And I was just like, I'm not doing this. Like, I don't want, like, my body doesn't feel good. I'm not going to keep doing this and push myself. And I didn't. And then I went over and I did some like movement and like stretching and got on the exercise ball. And then I went and swam, and then I went home, and it felt so good to just like truly listen. Actually, I didn't even swim that day. I didn't even swim. I did no cardio that day. And I got home and I felt so good. And I'm like, it's because I'm actually listening to what I want rather than forcing myself to do things. And yeah, these are all just different things that have came through for me. So just like a reminder, honestly, like keep listening to your body and do what it needs. I also am still going into the river down the road, and it is so cold. It was like 40 something the other day. And a lot of people are like, you're not allowed to do that in your pregnancy. I did talk to my midwife. And so obviously if you're interested in doing stuff like anything that I've said on this, consult your midwife or your OB or whoever you're being seen by. But one of my friends mentioned, she's like, I can't believe like you're going and you're getting in ice water. Like, how does that feel with the baby? Like, she was actually complimenting me for being intuitive and listening to my body and doing what I know as a mom is like good for us. And I feel like that is the key, is as moms, deep down within us, we know the answers. Like, we know what we can do. Our bodies will stop us if we're not meant to be doing something. I fully trust that within my body. When I didn't know that I was pregnant yet with this baby, I was getting into a sauna every day. And for some reason, I was like, this is so weird. Usually I sauna for like 20 minutes and my body could not handle the sauna. I kept getting out after like a few minutes. And then I found out I was pregnant. And my body intuitively knew, like, nope, you can't, it would just shut down. And so that's how I feel like when I go into the water. I'm not doing these like 10-minute ice baths or, okay, calm down, kind of 4-minute ice baths or 2 minutes ice baths that I used to do before I was pregnant. You know, I'm just like getting my body in and I'm getting out. And I would say that mentally for me, getting into the ocean and into the salt water, into the river where I was born and raised, is so healthy for me and my baby. So, so good for my mental clarity, for everything. Like, it just feels so refreshing to me. It feels like it cleanses me. And that is giving those like endorphins or whatever you want to say to baby. So yeah, that's just me and like listening to what different kind of things have came up for me that I've really like intuitively honed in with my baby and my body and what I'm able to do. So yeah, that is where we are at with 37, almost 38 weeks, really getting to the end of the pregnancy. I'm so excited to meet this little baby. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Our first is a girl, and we'll have 2 under 2 for a few months, which will be wild. But I'm just so excited, and I feel so ready to go into the birth space. I know this baby's gonna absolutely do amazing, and yeah, we'll see if it's a boy or a girl. I'm so, so curious. It's always the last few weeks for me that I'm like, I need to know what this baby is. But yeah, we're obviously going to keep waiting. And we actually have a midwife coming over in just an hour, I think an hour and a half, to do a checkup, which I'm super excited about. Having a home birth is amazing because the midwives just travel, like my midwife comes to my house, and so I don't have to leave. And so that's something that is, yeah, such a blessing. So yeah, I feel like I was able to really share from my heart today, and I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you were able to relate. I'm sorry that this video is all over the place. It kind of reminds me of if I send a voice memo to one of my friends and then after I'm like, should I delete that? Like, did any of that make sense? But I just feel like it would be so beautiful to have this raw and organic truth at this part of my pregnancy, and something that my baby will be able to look back on and be like, wow, mom. So if you ever watch this one day, baby, I love you. And I can't wait to meet you. So yeah, I feel I would love to invite you to take one more deep breath with me. We'll inhale through our nose and we'll hold, and then we'll exhale. Let's do a 5 count. That feels really good. I'll see if anything else comes through, and yeah, just relax our nervous systems. And I also invite you to just take a hold of your belly and your baby. Let's just really connect with our babies right now too. So closing down our eyes, taking a deep breath in through your nose for 5 seconds. Holding and release. Inviting in one more of those breaths. And just keeping our eyes closed for a few more moments. Just really connecting with your baby. Loving on them. I want you to think of one word to describe your labor and birth. Any word, whatever it is, the first word that comes to you. And there's obviously going to be so many words that you can use to manifest for your dream birth, and that you'll use after to describe your birth. But what is just one word? And opening your eyes. Welcome back to the space. My baby is moving so much right now. It's always a big mover when I hold my belly, but probably can feel the energy when I'm talking about it. My word was ethereal. There's so many other words, obviously. It's one of those moments where I'm like, but what about this word? But what about this word? But I love that that's just the first one that came through. So anyways, I think I have talked enough today. So I am sending you love and a safe and healthy and beautiful labor and birth and postpartum period. Thank you for being here.